Yesterday I made a video on nuisance beaver trapping and mink, and this morning I went and checked those sets again, and I got myself a nice beaver in there. And as you can see, I didn't have time to take him out of the Conibear or anything today, but I just thought I'd show you this. I know it's a little graphic, but I'm convinced that the 330 Conibear is the most humane way to dispatch an animal such as a beaver like this. When he goes through that den entrance, he sets the trigger off and it basically clamps. I mean, this is a perfect example of what a 330 does. It clamps directly behind the head and dispatches the animal very quickly. And again, that, you know, as a trapper, I try to be as humane as possible with every animal that I take, and that's why I use a Conibear quite a bit to do that. And again, I'm gonna take this out of here, take him out of this trap, and in the process I'll reset it and I'll show you the power of these traps. You really have to respect this Conibear, because if you were to get trapped in here, your hand or something in here, it would be a bad day. I quickly set up this Conibear. I took it off the beaver there and basically had to reset it anyway. So using a pot, I got that plastic pot to show you the den entrance, the simulated den entrance, and then I just used a couple stakes through the eyes of the spring here. I would usually use a stake that fills most of this up, but I just quickly set this up for you. And then you can also put a stick across the top here to keep, like they call it a dive stick, to keep the animal from trying to go over the top of that. And that's basically about it. Just secure it really well, because a beaver is an extremely powerful animal. And there's also little safety hooks on here that keep the spring from springing on you until you're ready to set the trap. So you leave these hooks on, and I usually even put a strand of wire around the jaws or strand of wire around each one of these springs as added protection. So when I have everything set, I pop the springs off, or pop the little safety straps off, clips off, and then clip the wires off at the very end, so that there's no chance of this thing going off. Because again, like I said, a 330 Conibear is extremely powerful, and I think it's the most effective way to dispatch a beaver. And I'll spring it for you and show you. Just the strength of that trap is pretty incredible, and you gotta respect it. And I also wanted to add about these big 330 Conibears that I never set them on land, because there's always the possibility that a dog or somebody's cat go into them. So they should always be submerged underwater because of the power that they have. The last thing you ever want to do is get, you know, somebody's dog in here, because if it can, you know, obviously take a fairly large animal, there's just an incredible amount of power here. So all I can stress is, you know, use your head when you use these. Use them underwater. They're pretty much intended for larger creatures like beaver. In my area, that's mostly what they're used for.